There's a quiet heartbreak that I see in my clinic again and again. A person comes in, often in their late 50s or 60s, and tells me they can no longer enjoy the simple pleasures of life without paying a painful price. A slice of toast at breakfast, a sandwich at lunch, even a warm dinner roll at night. These little comforts bring back swelling, aching joints, and restless nights. Bread, that symbol of comfort and family tables, becomes the villain in their story. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if the very thing that once stole your comfort could be replaced by foods that soothe rather than inflame, heal rather than harm? I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Channel Wellness Blueprint Over 50. Today, we're going to explore 3 bread alternatives that could bring joy back to your plate and relief to your joints. When I think about almond flour bread, I don't just think of food. I think of my patient Mary. She was 63, a retired teacher who came to me after years of struggling with arthritis pain in her hands. She told me, with tears in her eyes, that what hurt her most wasn't just the stiffness in the morning, it was the way she had to say no to the simple rituals of life. She loved making sandwiches for her grandchildren, but even the thought of eating bread left her fingers swollen and aching. "It feels like my comfort food has turned against me," she said. And that's a powerful truth for many older adults. Bread, made with refined wheat and processed ingredients, can fuel the very inflammation that makes arthritis so cruel. But Mary's story didn't end in sadness, because she discovered almond flour bread. Now, almond flour bread is not just a trend, it's a lifeline for those seeking arthritis pain relief. Almonds are full of healthy fats, specifically monounsaturated fats and omega-3 fatty acids. And those fats are like water poured on a fire. You see, inflammation is essentially a small fire smoldering inside the body. In arthritis, that fire catches in the joints, creating pain, stiffness, and swelling. But omega-3s act like firefighters, producing compounds that help calm down that flame. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that omega-3 fatty acids have measurable anti-inflammatory effects, and people who include them in their diet often report less joint pain. Almond flour bread delivers those benefits in every slice. Beyond fats, almonds are rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant. I often explain antioxidants to my patients like this. Imagine your body as a busy city. Free radicals are like reckless drivers, crashing into buildings and street lamps, creating damage everywhere. Vitamin E is the traffic cop, calming the chaos and restoring order. In your joints, this means less damage, less irritation, and a chance for healing to begin. For someone like Mary, that meant she could hold her knitting needles again without wincing. For others, it might mean being able to open a jar without struggling, or simply walking without that nagging throb in the knees. Another important benefit of almond flour bread is its effect on blood sugar. You might wonder, what does blood sugar have to do with arthritis? Here's the connection. When we eat traditional bread, the refined carbs cause blood sugar spikes. These spikes trigger the release of insulin, and frequent insulin surges are linked to higher levels of inflammation throughout the body. In simple terms, every bagel or white roll can fuel the fire of arthritis. Almond flour, however, has a low glycemic impact. It's digested more slowly, which keeps your blood sugar steady and reduces the body's tendency to flare up in response. That stability is key not just for arthritis pain relief, but also for overall energy and health as we age. And let's not forget the practical side, taste and texture. When Mary first baked almond flour bread at home, she brought me a slice wrapped carefully in foil. I still remember her smile when she said, "It tastes like real bread again." Almond flour bread has a gentle nutty flavor, a moist texture, and it actually holds together well. You can slice it, toast it, and enjoy it just like the bread you've known your whole life. That means you don't feel deprived, you feel nourished. It's not a poor substitute, it's a satisfying alternative. What I often encourage my patients to do is experiment with simple recipes. Almond flour bread usually requires just almond flour, eggs, a pinch of salt, and a touch of baking soda. From there, you can get creative. Add rosemary for a savory loaf, cinnamon for a comforting twist, or chia seeds for a crunchy bite. Mary's grandchildren love her version with a drizzle of honey, while she prefers a slice toasted with avocado. This flexibility means you don't just give up bread. You reinvent it in a way that serves your health instead of stealing from it. Some people worry about calories since almond flour bread is more energy dense than regular bread. But I always remind them, these are calories that carry healing. They come with protein, fiber, and fats that keep you full, satisfied, and energized. Unlike empty calories from refined bread, these calories nourish. When eaten mindfully, they support weight stability, which in itself reduces strain on the joints. Every pound lost relieves roughly 4 pounds of pressure off the knees, so foods that help you stay satisfied and prevent overeating are powerful allies in arthritis management. I'll never forget when Mary told me, months after making the switch, that she no longer dreaded breakfast. Her mornings began with a slice of almond flour bread, topped with almond butter, or sometimes scrambled eggs. I feel like myself again, she said. Her hands were more flexible, her energy was steady, and perhaps most importantly, she felt joy in her food again. That's what this journey is really about. It's not just science, it's dignity, comfort, and hope. So almond flour bread is more than an alternative. It's an invitation to live with less pain and more pleasure. It gives your joints the nutrients they need, calms the internal fire of inflammation, and restores the simple joy of breaking bread without breaking your body. And that, to me, is the beginning of reclaiming your health after 50. When I talk about chia seed bread, I can't help but think of George, a 70-year-old retired postman who came into my clinic with shoulders that ached every time he tried to reach for a shelf or even hug his grandchildren. He told me, "Doc, I used to walk miles delivering letters, but now I can barely carry the grocery bags without my joints screaming." He had already cut down on the sugary snacks and red meats, but bread was still his daily companion. Every morning, toast with butter. Every afternoon, a sandwich. When I asked him if he'd be willing to try something new, something that might turn his daily bread from enemy to ally, he looked doubtful. But when he discovered chia seed bread, his skepticism slowly turned into relief, and then into joy. Chia seeds are tiny, almost invisible at first glance, but they carry enormous power inside them. I often describe them to my patients as little sponges of health. When they meet water, they swell up into a gel, and that gel behaves in the body like a gentle broom, sweeping through the gut, slowing down digestion, and keeping blood sugar steady. That steady release of energy is a gift for people with arthritis because sudden sugar spikes are like throwing gasoline on the fire of inflammation. But chia seed bread, with its high fiber and gel-like consistency, keeps things calm, steady, and cool inside your body. George told me that after a few weeks of swapping out his white toast for chia seed bread, he noticed something remarkable. The morning stiffness in his hands wasn't as sharp, and his energy lasted longer through the day. He said, "It's like my body isn't crashing and burning after breakfast anymore." And that makes sense. Chia seeds are not only full of fiber, but they are also one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids. These omega-3s, as I've explained before, are the firefighters of inflammation. In fact, a study published in Arthritis and Rheumatology showed that omega-3 supplementation reduced joint tenderness and stiffness in patients with rheumatoid arthritis. Now imagine building those nutrients directly into your bread, the very thing you eat every day. But omega-3s and fiber aren't the only gifts chia seeds bring. They are also loaded with calcium and magnesium, minerals that are essential for keeping bones strong and muscles relaxed. Many people over 50 worry about brittle bones, about falls, about losing independence because of fractures. When I tell them that chia seeds contain more calcium per gram than most dairy products, they're often surprised. Magnesium, on the other hand, works like nature's muscle relaxant. It helps muscles recover from cramps, it supports nerve function, and it eases tension. Together, calcium and magnesium form a quiet partnership that strengthens the framework holding up your joints. The texture of chia seed bread is different from what most people expect. It's denser, more hearty, with a moistness that feels comforting rather than heavy. George described it as bread that feels like it means business. It fills you up, keeps you satisfied, and doesn't crumble away like some gluten-free breads do. For him, it became the perfect base for his favorite avocado toast in the mornings. For others, it might be the foundation of a turkey and veggie sandwich, or even enjoyed simply with a little olive oil. It's versatile, which means it fits easily into your daily life without making you feel like you've sacrificed flavor or tradition. Making chia seed bread at home is surprisingly simple. Most recipes call for chia seeds, flax seeds, maybe a bit of coconut or almond flour, some eggs, and a touch of baking powder. Mix, bake, and enjoy. There's something deeply satisfying about pulling a warm loaf from the oven, knowing every bite is working for your health rather than against it. George's wife, who had never been much of a baker, started making it weekly, and she said the smell alone brought comfort to their kitchen. Beyond the nutrients, there's another quiet advantage to chia seeds: antioxidants. These are the body's shields against oxidative stress, the process that damages cells and fuels inflammation. I like to compare antioxidants to a team of janitors cleaning up the mess left behind by free radicals, those unstable molecules that otherwise wreak havoc on our tissues. By eating foods rich in antioxidants, like chia seeds, you're helping your body stay cleaner, calmer, and more resilient against arthritis pain. And perhaps the most important gift chia seed bread gave George wasn't just physical, it was emotional. He told me months into this new habit, "Doc, I can pick up my grandkids again without wincing. I didn't realize how much I missed that." For him, the bread wasn't just food, it was the bridge back to connection, to hugs, to laughter without pain. That's the real measure of health, the freedom to live and love without limitation. So when you hear about chia seed bread, don't think of it as just another health fad. Think of it as a tool, a quiet, everyday ally that nourishes your joints, steadies your blood sugar, strengthens your bones, and cleanses your body from within. It's bread that loves you back. And for people like George, and maybe for you, it could be the difference between a life limited by pain and a life opened by possibility. There's a warmth to sweet potato bread that feels almost like home. When I recommend it to my patients, I often describe it as the kind of bread that wraps you in a hug. One of my patients, Evelyn, a 67-year-old grandmother, came to me exhausted, not just from her arthritis pain, but from the loneliness that often follows it. She told me, "I stopped going to church potlucks and family gatherings, Dr. Brian. It's embarrassing when I can't even eat the rolls without swelling up later." That sense of isolation is something many people don't talk about enough. Food isn't just nutrition, it's community, comfort, and tradition. When you feel like bread has betrayed you, it can feel like you've lost more than just a meal. You've lost connection. But when Evelyn discovered sweet potato bread, she found not only relief in her joints, but also a way to bring joy back to her family table. Sweet potatoes are an extraordinary food. Their bright orange color is a signal of their richness in beta-carotene, the nutrient that transforms in the body into vitamin A. I like to explain it this way. Imagine your joints as a wooden bridge. Over time, stress, weather, and wear tear it down. Beta-carotene is like the protective sealant that shields the wood from decay. In the body, it acts as an antioxidant, reducing oxidative stress that would otherwise inflame and damage the joints. Oxidative stress is one of the hidden villains in arthritis, a slow, corrosive force that accelerates pain and stiffness. By bringing antioxidants like beta-carotene into your diet, you're strengthening your body's shield against that corrosion. But that's not all. Sweet potatoes are also rich in vitamin C, a nutrient famous for immune support, but equally important for joint health. Why? Because vitamin C is essential for collagen production, and collagen is the glue that holds our joints, cartilage, and connective tissue together. Without enough collagen, joints become fragile, and every step or movement can feel like sandpaper grinding instead of smooth gliding. By eating foods like sweet potatoes, you're feeding your body the very building blocks it needs to keep those joints supple and resilient. I sometimes tell my patients, think of vitamin C as the weaver of the net that holds your joints together. Without it, the net frays. With it, the net stays strong. Another unsung hero in sweet potatoes is manganese. Many people don't think about this mineral, but it plays a crucial role in maintaining bone and connective tissue health. Picture manganese as the construction foreman on a job site. Without him, the workers don't have direction, and the structure weakens. With him, everything is organized, strong, and reliable. That's what manganese does for your skeletal system. It ensures the scaffolding that holds you up remains firm. What makes sweet potato bread particularly powerful for arthritis pain relief is that it's a complex carbohydrate. Unlike refined breads that send your blood sugar soaring and inflammation along with it, sweet potato bread digests slowly, releasing energy gently into your system. That steady rhythm keeps inflammation calmer, reduces painful flares, and helps maintain overall balance. It's bread that doesn't betray you with a sugar rush and a crash. It nourishes steadily, like a friend walking beside you instead of running ahead and leaving you breathless. The taste and texture of sweet potato bread are a delight. It's naturally sweet, moist, and slightly dense. Evelyn told me that the first time she baked it, her kitchen filled with an aroma so comforting that it brought her to tears. "It smelled like my mother's kitchen again," she said. That smell drew her grandchildren in, curious and hungry, and for the first time in years, she was able to serve bread at the table without fear. The bread wasn't just food, it was a bridge back to family and faith, back to the gatherings she had been missing. Making sweet potato bread is simple. Mash sweet potatoes, a couple of eggs, flour, often oat or coconut flour works beautifully, a touch of baking powder, and that's it. Just a handful of wholesome ingredients create something that feels almost magical. And the beauty is in the versatility. Toast it in the morning and spread almond butter across it. Use it for sandwiches at lunch. Pair it with soup at dinner. Add a sprinkle of cinnamon and a drizzle of honey, and suddenly you have a nourishing dessert. It's not just bread, it's a canvas for nourishment. Science backs up what Evelyn felt. A study in the Journal of Nutrition noted that diets rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds, such as those found in sweet potatoes, were linked to reduced markers of inflammation in older adults. What that means is not just theory, it's proof that the food you eat can change how you feel, how you move, and how you live. Evelyn went from avoiding gatherings to hosting them again, with sweet potato bread as her centerpiece. Her joints were less swollen, her energy brighter, and her smile wider. "I got my place at the table back," she told me, "and that's more than nutrition, that's healing." So sweet potato bread is more than a recipe. It's a reminder that even when arthritis tries to take away your comfort, you can reclaim it with foods that love you back. It nourishes your joints, steadies your energy, and restores the joy of breaking bread with the people you love. And that, at its heart, is what true health is all about. Not just the absence of pain, but the presence of connection, warmth, and belonging. So here we are, at the end of this journey through bread that heals instead of harms. Almond flour bread brings the power of healthy fats and antioxidants. Chia seed bread offers omega-3s and strength for your bones. Sweet potato bread gives you warmth, collagen support, and steady energy. Together, they are proof that you don't have to surrender comfort to find relief. Small changes, one slice, one choice at a time, can restore joy, ease pain, and bring life back to your table. I'm Dr. Brian. Thank you for joining me. Your best years can still be ahead.